Okay, so since it's 6 o'clock, should we start now or should I wait more for people to come in?
Let's just wait for 5 minutes, then we
Okay,
start.
okay. Good evening, Sebastian.
Before we start officially, I want like 2 to 3 people to unmute and tell us about personal branding, please. 2 or 3 people unmute and tell us about personal branding, please. Don't make me call names, oh. Just unmute, Jeje. So nobody can unmute to tell me what is personal branding. Then let me call out names. If I should call you and you did not unmute and answer me, I will take you off this call, and I mean it, cause you were all like you all were present in the class. Just for 2 to 3 people to tell me what is personal branding, nobody's saying something. Let me look out for people that have been here for a while. Blessing, okay? Unmute and tell me what is personal branding. After Blessing, Miracle Emmanuel, unmute and say something as well too. After Miracle, then Samuel Bankole, you unmute yourself and say something. The first
Good
person can.
evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Okay, what I think, what I know about personal branding is about like the value you add to yourself, the value you add to what you can like offer to people, what you like, the value you add to anywhere you are. That's what I feel like I understand about personal branding.
Okay. Next person, please. The next person, which is Miracle Emmanuel. Miracle Emmanuel, mute and answer me.
Hello, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Good evening. My name is Miracle Emmanuel.
Evening.
Actually, personal branding is an intentional effort that one's creates to influence public perception about him or herself. It's about how you table to the world on who you are or who you want to be. It's about how you want the world to see you
Okay.
and the value you want the world to think you have.
Okay. The value.
Yeah, about what you want the world to know about you, what you can offer, how you can help them solve problem, which problem. Now, your ability to brand it and bring and publicize yourself, market yourself, show yourself to the world is what we call personal branding. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. The next person, please. The next person, Samuel Bank.
I don't know if you can hear me, but where I am is actually low.
Okay.
I actually try to put it on the class so that I want to do it together with this. Where I am is actually very, very low.
Oh, Adekunle, please tell us what is personal branding. Adekunle, do we have more than one Adekunle? I think it's just one Adekunle. Adekunle, unmute and tell us what is personal branding. Precious, please make me admin on this call. I need to remove some people. I hate this muteness. You all were active in the class. Now say something about what you learned. You guys are keeping mute. If I should call anybody else and nobody is answering, I will take you off the call. And you would not even be able to access the next call because this bootcamp is not even your program. So this is a plus for you. If you guys are here, you need to be serious and you need to be attentively. If you think this is just for you to be here to take attendance and just to listen, we are not doing that here. Those who are raising their hands, you can unmute and say something. But if I should call anybody and you don't say anything, I'm taking you off.
Okay, good evening,
Good
everybody.
evening.
My name is Priscilla. So, yesterday's class, I learned that personal branding is how you show up even before you walk into a room. I also learned that there are four pillars of personal branding, which are your story,
Okay.
skills, your value, and visibility.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Abubakar.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Uh, the last time we met, so it was all about personal branding. My takeaway from it is that personal branding is all about the value your trademark, that is, your action and inaction speaks volume about you and how you want people to perceive you and how you market yourself to the public, especially what you are comfortable with and the services that you want to render to the public, then how you brand yourself and how you create a positive perception about yourself before the general public. Thank you.
That's nice. Very much. Obasi.
Okay, personal branding is the way you intentionally present yourself out there, especially when you are in professional or public spaces. Okay, based on the things you share, that's your value, based on who you are, which is your personality. Yes, so
Okay. Thank you. Wanchuku.
Okay, ma. Good evening, ma.
Good evening.
All right. Okay, for me, I would say personal branding just like creating an image, or let me say creating a reputation for yourself, especially in your career or your industry. It can
Okay.
also mean it can also involve like showcasing your talent, your skills, your values, who you are, your personality. And then the essence is to build recognition so that people will recognize you, to build trust, and then to get influence.
That's good. Thank you. Precious.
Yes, ma'am.
No, the other precious.
Oh, okay, okay.
Okay, good evening, ma. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Okay, to me, personal branding is our identity, emotion, like our values, our stories, how people experience us, what people know about us, what people know us for. That's personal branding.
Thank you very much. So, do we still have anybody raising there? Okay, Tia, am I correct? Tia, you can unmute and say something.
Oh, yes. Personal branding is all about our values, who you are, what you stand for. It's about being intentional about the people you want to reach out to and knowing your customers and being intentional about your customers. And like you said in the last lesson, consistency beats quality every time. So it's always about being consistent and intentional with who you are and what you represent.
Thank you very much.
All right, good evening, everyone. Hello.
Hello.
So, personal branding is about building your portfolio, like creating value, allowing people to see what you actually do.
Okay.
So, we talked about some of the platforms that we can use to be visible online. So, we talked about LinkedIn, Instagram, um, some people use Twitter. Uh, But personal branding generally will help people who are interested in what you do to be able to reach out to you. So that's what personal branding is. And we also talked about how one can actually open LinkedIn accounts, what it can do to increase visibility online. And some of us give our own inputs that very day. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Two more to go. Then we start.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening, ma.
Good evening.
Okay, now we talk about personal branding that is knowing who you are, your work, and being unbiased, showing up online and offline, and being consistent. And that take home I took on that working knowing your network and your network with integrity.
Next person, please.
Hi, good evening.
Good
Good
evening.
evening, everyone. Okay, personal branding is what people think of you when they hear your name, whether offline or online. It's what makes you stand out, like your purpose, your clarity, your story. That's personal branding for me. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So, I think we are good on that part. So, over to our facilitator. So, let's welcome our facilitator on board once again.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much, Ran. Please, I just want to ask, can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. Welcome back to day two of our personal branding class. I'm thrilled to have you here today because
Some of them, some of them are not true though because they are questions.
well, on their behalf, I apologize. Good evening. All right, so we're going beyond the surface level, beyond the basics we discussed in our last session. So we're going to dive into something more deeper, richer, and often more challenging aspects of building and sustaining a personal brand. So thank you all so much for your contributions. A little bit of recap. If you all recall, during our last session, we laid a very important foundation. We talked about what personal branding truly means, not just the aesthetics or online presence, but the core of who you are and how that shows up consistently in your life and career. We unpacked the pillars, which are your story, values, skills, and visibility. So today we move into what I consider the more transformational parts of personal branding, evolving your brand over time, showing up intentionally, not just online, but in every real world setting. And finally, how to create a legacy with your brand that lasts well beyond today and even beyond your active career. So I want to encourage you to come with an open mind and a willingness to reflect deeply. So this session, sorry, please, can you mute your mic when you come in class? Please mute your mic, everyone.
And then mute your mic, you dey open camera.
Mute your mic, please. All right, thank you. So this evening, I want to come with an open mind and a willingness to reflect deeply. The session is going to be packed with insights, practical strategies, reflection moments, and some challenging questions. But they are questions that will help you grow and position yourself intentionally. So let's settle in. All right. Okay. So today we're going to be talking about evolving your personal brand. Your personal brand is not static and your brand must evolve. First, think about this: change is only constant in life. You are not the exact person you were 2 years ago, 1 year ago, or 6 months ago. Your experiences, your knowledge, your skills, your outlook have all shifted, whether you've noticed it or not. Your personal brand is essentially the reflection of who you are and what you represent. So, due to the fact that change is constant, your personal brand needs to keep pace with that change. And why is this so important? Imagine your personal brand as a living, breathing entity and not just a static logo. If you don't update it, please can you mute your mic?
Who is that person now?
Thank you. So imagine your personal brand as a living, breathing entity, not just a static logo. If you don't update it, your brand will start to feel outdated or even disconnected from your current reality. It's like you're trying to wear shoes that no longer fit. It becomes uncomfortable, it becomes limiting, and eventually you stop wearing them. Your goals have probably changed since you started building your brand. Maybe you begin your career aiming to become a junior professional, but now you are targeting leadership roles or even entrepreneurship. Perhaps your audience is shifting, you want to engage with executives, a broader community. Your industry may be evolving rapidly. Technology advances, market demand shifts, new trends emerge that require you to upgrade your skills and the way you present yourself. So the message here is this: your brand must be a dynamic representation of your growth journey. When your brand evolves, it not only stays relevant, but it also shows that you are adaptable, you're forward thinking, and you are continuously improving. So I want you to think about this deeply. Ask yourself, are you still proud of the story your brand tells? Does it reflect the person you are today and the person you're becoming? If not, that's a clear signal that it's time for you to rethink and refresh your brand. Also, remember that evolving your brand is a sign of strength and not weakness. It shows you're conscious of your progress and about where you're heading. So keep this in mind as we move forward. Your brand should be a living narrative that grows with you, that keeps you aligned with your goals and open doors to opportunities you deserve. Let's move on to the next slide. Science is time to evolve. Now that we understand why our personal brand needs to evolve, let's talk about how to recognize when that time has come. This is crucial because we often get stuck in old versions of ourselves, and that can hold us back professionally and personally. First, you feel misaligned. And this might sound abstract, but it's a very real feeling. You wake up one day and you realize the way you've been presenting yourself, the image you've been cultivating, or the story you've been telling does not sit right anymore. It feels like you're playing a role that no longer fits. It's like you're wearing a mask that is starting to suffocate you, and that is discomfort. Discomfort is often a subconscious nudge that your current brand is outdated or disconnected from who you really are now. For example, you might still have job titles or skills listed that no longer reflect your core expertise or passions. Or maybe the tone you use in your communication feels off. It might feel too forward or too casual compared to how you actually want to show up. Then, secondly, you are entering a new industry or role. You are transitioning. Career transitions are classic triggers for personal brand evolution. When you switch from healthcare to tech or from marketing to management, the expectations around your professional identity change dramatically. If you don't adjust your personal brand, your audience, whether they are recruiters, colleagues, or clients, they might get confused or dismiss your potential. Your brand needs to clearly communicate on your new focus and the unique value you bring to that space. Thirdly, you want to reach a different audience. Maybe you've been speaking mostly to peers or to a local community, but now you want to expand your reach to a global market. You want to speak to senior leaders or a different demographic altogether. Your personal brand messaging tone and platforms need to change accordingly. For instance, content that worked for millennials might not resonate well with Gen Zs. A casual Instagram vibe might not be appropriate for professional LinkedIn audience. Fourthly, your content or work no longer excites you. This is a subtle but powerful sign. When you feel bored or you feel disengaged with the kind of work you're doing or the content or stories you're telling, it's often because your brand has outgrown those things. You need to be passionate and be more authentic. It's very important because they are vital informations for a strong personal brand. If your brand is stuck in the past, your energy will drop and your audience will sense the lack of enthusiasm. So I want you to emphasize on this. Recognizing these signs early is very important. It allows you to take control and intentionally craft the next chapter of your brand before it starts hurting your career or your personal goal. Evolving your personal brand does not mean erasing who you have been. Instead, it means honoring your journey while confidently stepping into who you are becoming. So take a moment to reflect on your own experience. Are you noticing any of these signs? Maybe a little discomfort. Do you have a desire to shift direction? That's your cue. Let's move on to the next slide. What personal brand evolution looks like. Now that we've talked about the signs telling you that it's time for you to evolve your personal brand, let's dive into what evolution actually looks like in real life. Because knowing what helps you remove some of the fear and uncertainty around change. Evolving your personal brand is a multi-layered process. It's not just about changing your LinkedIn headline or updating your photo. It's a holistic shift in how you present yourself, how you communicate, how you show up in every space, online and offline. First, one of the most Okay, my mic is cracking. Oh, sorry about that. Can you hear me now? All right.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So, one of the most valuable parts of personal brand evolution is shifting your tone or your voice. Think about how you speak or write. Maybe your old brand was very formal, strictly professional. Sometimes it felt distant. As you evolve, your voice might become warmer, more conversational, even more assertive, depending on what aligns with your new identity. This shift is important because your voice is how people feel your brand. It sets the emotional tone and makes your presence memorable. For example, if you're moving from a technical role to a leadership position, Your voice must become more inspiring and visionary, aiming to motivate and guide others. The next one is upgrading your skills and showcasing new ones is a fundamental part of your personal brand evolution. As you grow professionally, you acquire new expertise, new certifications, new experiences. Your personal brand should reflect that, not just by listing skills, but by integrating them into your story and your value proposition. For instance, if you are used to focus on project management, but now you've learned data analytics, your brand should highlight how you combine those strengths to solve complex business problems. This continuous growth signals to your audience that you are dynamic, you are adaptable, and you're forward thinking. Then, updating your bios, your headlines, and portfolio is practical but also a powerful step. Your bio is often the first place people get to know you. So, it needs to tell your current story, not your past. So don't be afraid to rewrite your LinkedIn summary or your professional website to reflect your evolving priorities and goals. Use languages that resonate with your target audience and clearly state the value you offer now. Your portfolio, whether it's a website, it could be LinkedIn projects, or even physical samples, should also showcase your latest work and accomplishments. Think of it as your personal museum. It should represent your best and your newest self. Changing how you introduce yourself is another subtle but critical element. Notice how you start conversations or networking interactions. Do you still describe yourself with old job titles or outdated phrases? Or do you confidently articulate your current focus, expertise, and aspiration? Your introduction sets the stage for how people perceive you and whether they will see you as relevant and credible in your new space. Importantly, evolution is not about drastic changes overnight. It's about intentional, thoughtful adjustment that feels authentic to you. Your brand wants to grow organically, like a tree, expanding its branches while still staying rooted. So remember, evolution also involves letting go parts of your brands that no longer serve. These decisions create space for new opportunities and authentic growth. So, what I'm trying to say is this: changing your voice and your tone to better reflect your true self and goals, upgrading and showcasing new skills that align with your growth, refreshing your bios, your headlines, your portfolios to tell your current stories, adjusting how you introduce yourself to communicate clarity and confidence, and letting go of outdated elements and make new space for the new ones. Evolution can be exciting, even if it feels challenging at first. It's your chance to reclaim your narrative and step fully into your professional phase. So, before we move on, take a moment to imagine how your personal brand evolution might look like. What changes do you feel that you are ready to make? What part of your current brand do you want to keep? And what part do you want to remove? This reflection will prepare you for the next slide, which is about common fears around brand evolution. Now, let's be real for a moment. Change is hard. Even when you know you need to evolve your personal brand, it's normal to feel some fear and hesitation. These fears can often hold us back from making important shifts. And when we resist change, our brand risks becoming outdated and disconnected from who we truly are. So let's talk about some of the most common fears people face while evolving their personal brand, and more importantly, how to reframe and overcome them. The first one is, what if people don't understand the shift? What if people don't get it? This is a big one. You might worry that your network, your clients, or colleagues will be confused or even disappointed by your new direction. Maybe your fear of losing credibility or being misunderstood. Here's the truth: evolution does not happen overnight for others either. Your audience may need time to adjust, and that's okay. The key is clear, consistent communication. When you share your new focus, your new values, your new skills openly through posts, conversations, or even updated profiles. You're giving people the chance to understand your growth. Also, remember, those who truly matter will support your journey. People appreciate being authentic and courageous. It's better to be genuine and evolving than stagnant and inauthentic. The second one is, will I lose my old audience or clients? It's natural to worry about losing followers, clients, or contacts who connected with your previous brand. But here's a mindset shift. Your old audience was attracted to a part of your story. As you evolve, you also attract new people who will align with your updated vision. And some from your existing audience will stay because they believe in your growth. So losing connections can feel like a loss, but it's actually a gain in focus and relevance. You're clearly clearing the path for deeper, meaningful relationships. The third question, do I need to start everything over again? Many people think evolving means starting from the scratch, changing every profile, every post, or every piece of content. That can feel overwhelming. In reality, rebranding is a process. Evolution is a process and not an event. You don't have to overhaul everything at once. Start with small, manageable steps. Update your LinkedIn headline, refresh your bio, and add recent projects. Gradually shifting your messaging over weeks or months. Consistency over the time beats a rush transformation. Let me take that again. Consistency over the time beats a rushed transformation. Reframe. It's not about abandoning your past, it's growing from it. That mindset changes everything. Your personal brand evolution is an expansion of who you've been, not a rejection. You're building on your foundation with new layers of experience, skills, and values. So think of it like a river flowing. It's still the same river, right? But it's always moving, it's always adapting, it's always deepening. And just like river, your brand needs to keep flowing to stay alive and relevant. Let me ask you this. When you see a stagnant water, what comes to your mind? Think about it. Is it fresh? Is it useful? Would you drink it? Probably not. Stagnant water loses its value. It starts to smell. It starts to attract things that don't belong. And the same thing happens when your personal brand stops evolving, when you stop growing, when you stop showing up. That answer you thought of now, when I asked if you see it stagnant water, the answer you thought of now, just hold on to it, because that's exactly why you need to keep flowing. Movement is life, growth is power, relevance is earned. So don't let your brand sit still. Keep evolving, keep flowing, keep showing the world who you are becoming. And we have other fears, like fear of making mistakes or looking inconsistent, fear of judgment or being criticized or changing direction, fear of losing confidence or identity. All these are valid reasons, but growth requires stepping outside comfort zones and embracing uncertainty. One practical way to face those fears is by planning your evolution with intention. Set clear goals about what you want to change and why. Communicate openly with your network and invite feedback. Celebrate small wins as you adjust. Remember, evolving your personal brand is a journey that is filled with learning, corrections, moments of breakthrough. It's okay to be imperfect. Being authentic always wins over perfection. So, what I'm trying to say is this: fear is normal, but that doesn't have to stop you. Communicate clearly and consistently to help others understand. Losing some connections is part of your growth, but you gain more relevant ones. Rebranding can be gradual. Small steps add up. Evolution builds on your past, not erases it. So as you move forward with your personal brand evolution, hold these truths close. Your courage will your courage to evolve will inspire others to do the same. And your authentic growing brand will open doors to opportunity you can't yet imagine. So take a moment to reflect. Which fear resonates with you the most? How can you reframe it to empower your growth rather than limit it? This reflection will prepare you to the next action step, which is audit your current brand. I'm sure some of you might be wondering, why is Precious talking about audits? I thought we were here for personal branding, not finances. And you're right, we're not talking about auditing your bank account or business finances, but we are talking about personal brand audits. And here's the thing, just like businesses need financial audits to stay healthy and align with their goals, your personal brand, you need to audit your personal brand to make sure your brand is aligned with who you are today and who you're becoming. So just think of it as a personal brand health checkup. It's a crucial first step before evolving anything. And why? Because it gives you clarity and confidence. When you audit your personal brand, you're taking a moment to reflect on what is currently working, identify what feels outdated, and realign your brand with the direction you truly want to go in next. So, this is how you move forward strategically, not based on pressure, trends, or guesses, but with real life intentionality. So, let's break down exactly how to audit your brand step by step. The first one is, what part of your brand still feel true to who you are today? Start by reviewing all the places where your personal brand currently lives. This could be your LinkedIn profile, your social media account, your resume, your CV, your portfolio website, even how you introduce yourself verbally. Look carefully at your photos, your headlines, summaries, the skills and accomplishments you highlight, and the tone of your post or your messages. Ask yourself, does this content still represent who I am and what I'm known for? Are the skills and experiences highlighted still relevant to my current goals? Does the tone of my communication feel safe? Write down what feels authentic and aligned and what feels outdated or disconnected. The second step is what no longer fits or feel outdated. This is the heart of evolution. Based on your reflections and where you see yourself heading, clarify your new brand focus. Maybe you want to attract a different audience. Write out a clear statement or bullet point that defines what you want and what your personal brand needs to represent going forward. This could include your core values, your expertise, and the value you bring. Think about your audience. Who are they? And what problems or needs do you want to address for them? The next one is, now that you've identified what still feels true, what do you want to be known for going forward? This is where we start looking ahead. Think about it. Your personal brand isn't just about who you've been, it's about the reputation you are actively shaping for the future. What impact do you want to make? What conversations do you want your name to come up in? What people think of you? When people think of you, rather, what words do you want to come to their mind? Don't limit yourself to what you've done before. This is your chance to define a new direction, especially if your career, your interest, or your life priorities are shifting. Be bold, be specific, and don't be afraid to dream. Clarity helps you filter your decisions, your content, your opportunities, and ensures that. Please mute your mic. That's it. Yeah, sorry, mute your mic. Thank you. So, clarity helps you filter your decisions, your content, your opportunities, and ensures that every move you make is reinforcing the brand you're building. The next step is, where do you need to update? Once you know what fits and what your new brand is, make a list of all the places your brand lives that needs updating. This may be your LinkedIn headline, your summary, your professional website, your email signature, your social media bios, or even how you introduce yourself in networking or interviews. Plan the order of updates. Some changes might be quick, just like updating your job title. Others might require more time, such like creating new content that reflects your evolved brand. Remember, brand evolution is a process. is not a one time event. You don't have to do everything at once. Schedule time over the next few weeks or months to make this update gradually. And why is this audit so important? You might ask yourself. Without knowing where your personal brand stands, it's hard to move forward intentionally. Audit gives you clarity and confidence, and it also prevents sending mixed messages that confuses your audience. When your personal brand is clear and aligned, you attract the right opportunities and build trust naturally. So after this session, start your audit. Write down questions. What parts of my current brand feel strong and aligned? What part feels outdated? What is my new personal brand focus or identity? Which platforms, documents, or profiles do I need to update first? When you start this audit, you set the foundation for all the evolution work you do going forward. And it's also a brave step that shows you're ready to take control of your story and your presence. Let's move to the next slide. Personal branding in real world. Now that we've audited our current brand and we are thinking about evolution, it's critical to understand a key truth about personal branding. Your personal brand is not confined to the digital space. Many people think personal branding is just about LinkedIn profiles, Instagram posts, Twitter threads. While all those platforms are important, your personal brand lives far beyond the screen. It exists in every space you enter, whether it's a virtual meeting, a physical conference room, or even in your local community. Your personal brand is the sum total of how people experience you. It's how you show up when the camera is off, how you speak and carry yourself, how you deliver on promises, how you treat others in everyday interaction. This offline presence can even be more powerful because it is authentic and multidimensional. So think about it. How reliable and professional are you when it matters? What is the tone? What is the tone of your voice and body language like? All these create impressions that linger and form part of your personal brand stories. The Nigerian professional landscape offers many examples of individuals whose offline presence has made their personal brand powerful. Consider someone who is consistently punctual, respectful, and engaged in meetings. People notice and remember these habits more than social media posts. On the other hand, someone with a strong online presence but poor workspace behavior can undermine their personal brand quickly. Now, your personal brand offline elements include your work ethic and reliability, your communication style in person, your attitude, how you treat others, including your junior peers, your clients, your colleagues. All this shape how people perceive you. And remember, word of mouth is incredibly powerful. People will talk about you when you are not around. Let's move on to the next slide. Offline moments that shape offline moments that shape your brand. Building on what we've discussed about how your personal brand lives beyond the digital world, let's now dive deeper into specific offline moments that hold significant power in shaping your personal brand. These moments might seem small or routine, but they are the opportunities where your brand truly takes shape. Think of them as the real world touch points where people from lasting impressions where people get a lasting impression of who you are, your character, your professionalism, your values. So let's break down some key offline branding moments that matter and explore why it's so important. The first one is networking events and professional gatherings. Many people think networking is about collecting business card or LinkedIn connections, but it's more than that. At networking events, people watch not only what you say, but how you say it, how you listen, how you follow up, showing genuine interest in others, asking thoughtful questions, sharing your expertise confidently are always a way to build your personal brand. Your workplace behavior and leadership. Your brand is very much alive in your day to day workplace interactions. Whether you're an intern, lead team, or manager, your behavior sets the tone. Being reliable, meeting deadlines, communicating clearly with colleagues are fundamental personal branding pillars. Leadership isn't about title or position. Even if you don't manage people, demonstrating initiative, collaboration, and problem solving skills builds a leadership brand. In Nigeria's diverse work environment, where teamwork and relationship often drive success, your ability to foster positive connection adds immensely to your brand equity. Also, how you handle challenges and conflicts defines your brand. The next one is volunteering and community roles. Your personal brand extends into community involvement. Volunteering for causes you care shows that you are more than your job title. It signals your value, your empathy, responsibility and commitment. In Nigeria, community roles and volunteering are highly respected and can build bridges to professional opportunities. Then we have body language, tone, and dressing. Body language is silent but a powerful form of communication. Converse openly, have an open posture, nodding, consistent eye contact, engagement, trustworthiness. Your tone of voice matters too. Dressing is also another crucial piece. It's not just about expensive clothes, but dressing suitable for your industry, your role, your occasion. Let's move on to the next slide. The power of word of mouth branding. Word of mouth is your most powerful brand tool because people trust real experiences more than any profile post. Your reputation spreads when you are not there. Someone you worked with might be recommending you right now or warning others from working with you. That's how you show up online and offline. It builds trust, it shapes opinions, it opens doors you didn't even know existed. Your brand is what people say about you when you're not there. Here's the truth, your personal brand lives beyond LinkedIn profile or your elevator pitch. It's the stories people tell when you're not around, what they say about your work, your character, your reliability. That's what truly shapes your reputation. And often, you don't get to control these stories. So the question is, are these stories working for you or against you? The next point is offline consistency builds trust and reputation. Trust isn't built in a day, and it's definitely not built on empty promises. It's built when you show up every single time with the same integrity and dedication. When people know you deliver, not just once, but consistently, they start to believe in you. The next point is delivering value with integrity makes people refer you confidently. People don't just refer you because they are friendly, they refer you because you help them win. When you consistently bring real value, whether it's solving problems, sharing insights, or supporting others, you become someone's trust to recommend without hesitation. That's how word of mouth turns into your strongest and most effective marketing tool. Let's move on to the next slide. Everyday habits that strengthen your personal brand. Now that we've talked about the power of word of mouth and how Please, who is that person? Mute your mic. Now that we've talked about the power of word of mouth branding and how what people say about you when you're not in the room shapes your reputation, let's take a step back and look at everyday habits that build that reputation. The first one is be on time every time, be punctual and be reliable. Very important. Punctuality is one of the most simplest yet powerful habits for building trust. Arriving on time for meetings, appointments, deadlines shows respect for others and signals professionalism. Reliability goes beyond being on time. It's about doing what you say you do. If you commit to a task or promise to deliver something, make sure you follow through. If challenges arise, communicate proactively instead of leaving others guessing. Being dependable is a reputation builder that travels far beyond your immediate workplace. Next one is say thank you, follow up, and remember names. Gratitude and follow up are underrated in professional settings. Taking a moment to say thank you after a meeting or sending a quick follow up message shows thoughtfulness and leaves a positive impression. People feel valued when you acknowledge their time and effort. Also, remembering names, even small details about people, is a genuine sign of interest and respect. Then, dress appropriately and professionally. Your appearance is often the first thing people notice about you, even before you say a word. Dressing appropriately for your environment sends a message about how seriously you take your role and how you want to be perceived. This doesn't mean wearing formal suits, but rather dressing in a way that fits your industry, your company culture, and your personal brand. Your clothing should align with an image you want to project. The next one is be present and engage in conversations. In today's busy world, one of the greatest gifts you can give someone is your full attention. When you're in meetings, conversations, or networking events, practice active listening. Show genuine interest in others that makes you memorable and respected. Practice positive body language. Handle conflict gracefully. No matter how careful you are, conflict or misunderstandings happen. What sets strong personal brand apart is how they handle this moment. Respond calmly, listen carefully, and seek solutions instead of escalating. Putting it all together, remember the power of these everyday habits lies in consistency. You might not see immediate results from a single thank you note, but over weeks and months, these small actions build up a reputation that precedes you. Let's go to the next slide. Now, building offline and online personal brands. And we're going to be looking at a case study today. So we are going to look at a powerful case study who is Mr. Aliko Dangote. He's not only Africa's richest man, but also a master at building a personal brand that thrives both online and offline. When we think about personal branding, sometimes we imagine social media or digital presence. But Mr. Aliko Dangote shows us that real impact comes when your online and offline brands work in hand to reinforce each other. Building an online brand. Mr. Aliko Dangote's online presence is carefully crafted and purposeful through official websites, news features, interviews, carefully managed social media. He shares his vision, his business achievements, his philanthropic efforts. This online presence helps communicate his values such as leadership, national development, empowerment to a global audience. It also allows him to connect with younger Nigerians, potential investors, and international partners who expect to find trustworthy information about him online. Then, building an offline brand. When the online brand shares his message widely, Mr. Aligo Dangote's his offline presence is what truly cements his reputation in the hearts and minds of Nigerians. I'm sure some of us find it funny when I use the word cement in that sentence. I mean, we're talking about Aliko Dangote, so come on. He shows up consistently in important meetings, industry events, and community projects. He's known for being reliable, professional, humble. Those qualities create lasting impressions. His philanthropy, such as building hospitals, supporting education, responding to crises, demonstrates his commitment beyond business, strengthening his legacy in real, tangible ways. Now, how do these two brands work together? The online brand amplifies his story and adds values to a wider audience, ensuring that when people hear his name, they immediately associate it with leadership and integrity, while the offline brand provides the authentic action and personal interaction that makes the online narrative believable and respected. Now, the synergy, how online and offline brands amplify each other. What's remarkable about Mr. Aliko Dangote is how these two paths, the online and the offline brands, they don't operate in silos, but they work hand in hand. When people read about his contributions online, it validates what they hear about him offline. When they meet him or experience his project firsthand, it confirms the online story is genuine. This creates being authentic. It's a crucial ingredient in personal branding that builds long term trust and loyalty. In an era where misinformation and hype abound, the alignment of online and offline presence protects his brand from skepticism. So, what is the lesson here for you and me? Mr. Aliko Dangote's example teaches us that personal branding requires number one, intentionality. You can't leave your brand to chance. Every online post, every offline interaction must reflect your value and goals. Secondly, consistency. Your words and your action must match. A disconnect between what you say online and what you do offline will damage your credibility. Thirdly, long term vision. Branding is not about quick wins or viral fame. It's about building a reputation that lasts beyond immediate gains. And the fourth one is community impact. Your personal brand grows stronger when you contribute meaningfully to others. Mr. Alinko Dangote's legacy is tied to his service and giving back. Now, these are the questions I want you to consider. How well do your online profiles and your offline behaviors align? Are you sending a consistent message? What values do you want people to associate with you, both online and offline? How can you create an authentic presence for people when they meet you in person? What stories can you share online that reflect your real life action? How do you begin to build your offline presence through community, volunteering, or leadership roles? So, what I'm trying to say is this: Mr. Aliko Dangote's personal brand is a powerful example of integrating online visibility with real world influence. Neither stands alone, they are two sides of the same coin. For you, this means investing energy in both spaces, carefully curating your digital footprint while also showing up authentically in meetings, events, and everyday interaction. If you master this balance, your personal brand will not only be known, it will be respected, trusted, and lasting. Let's go on to the next slide. Building your personal legacy. I know some of us are wondering again, why is she talking about legacy? How does that relate to personal brand? Legacy. Does that have anything to do with personal brand? Or you might be wondering, how do we go from LinkedIn bios to legacy? Well, here's why it matters. Legacy isn't, oh my God. Sorry, Amanda, can you mute your mic? Sorry about that. So, legacy isn't something you leave behind when you die. No, it's something you're building right now, whether you know it or not. It's being how you treat people, in how you show up when no one is talking or when no one is watching. What people remember about you, not just for a week or for years. So let me ask you this: what does legacy mean to you? Because for some people, legacy is about impact. For others, legacy is about influence. For some, legacy is about values that are being passed on. For some people, it's the difference they made, even quietly. Whatever it means to you, I want you to understand this. Your personal brand is not only about visibility, it's also about meaning. And legacy is where meaning becomes lasting. Now, let's define legacy in relation to the topic personal branding. When we talk about legacy here, we're not talking about fame, we're not talking about fortune or having a building named after you. We're talking about lasting impression your personal brand leaves behind. Legacy is the long term impact of how you've lived, led, and shown up, not just online, but in real life. Is what people remember about you when you are no longer in the room or even a part of that conversation. Is the stories people tell because of how you made them feel. Is the values you stood for. For example, the example you set, the way you used your influence. So, in simple terms, legacy is your personal brand on a deeper, longer timeline. Your brand says, here's who I am, but your legacy says, here's what I stand for. And the truth is this, whether you are aware of it or not, you're already building a legacy through the way you live, the way you walk, the way you relate to others. So the question is this, are you building it intentionally or by default? When people say your name years from now, what would they say about you? That is the question of legacy. If personal branding is about how people see you now, then your legacy is about how they remember you long after, whether it's from a workplace, an industry, a platform. It's easy to think of legacy as something reserved for politicians, celebrities, or people with wealth and fame. But the truth is, everyone has a legacy. The only question is, will your legacy be intentional or accidental? Your legacy is the final brand of your personal, is the final layer of your personal brand. You've heard of personal branding as how people perceive you, what you are known for, your visible actions and personality. But legacy is deeper. Legacy is about character over charisma, contribution over performance, impact over applause. Your legacy is what remains after your content stops, after your contract ends, or your career shifts. If the story others tell about your presence and purpose does not correlate with your professional existence, what is your legacy about? So let me paint a picture. Think of a coach, a colleague, or even a teacher from your past who've made a difference in your life. Years have passed, but you still remember them. Why? Not because of their job title or because of how many followers they had. Why? But because they stood up for something when no one else did. They said something that shifted your mindset. They helped you without expecting anything in return. That's legacy. And there are three things a personal legacy always includes. The first one is reputation. What are you remembered for? What do people say about your attitude, your integrity, and the quality of your work? The second one is relationships. How do you make people feel? Do you mentor others? Do you uplift people or you use them? The third one is results. What real change or improvement did you contribute to a person, a place, or a company? You don't need a fancy platform to create a legacy. You just need intentionality. So here's the truth, your CV might get deleted, your LinkedIn page might get inactive, your content may stop going viral, but your impact, what you've built in people's hearts, the values you stood for, the problems you solve, that is your legacy. Now I want you to reflect on this. If I leave my current space, whether it's my job, my school, my online audience, what will people say about me? Would they say she was kind, hardworking, and dependable? Would they say he always showed up with excellence and a heart to serve? Would they say, oh, she helped me become better at what I do? Or would they say nothing at all? So you don't have to answer that now, but just sit with that. Let it guide you into the next level of your personal brand. And always remember this, personal legacy is not a distant dream. It starts now with small, intentional, repeatable actions. You don't have to wait till you're 50, till you're famous, or till you're established. You can build your legacy in your 20s, in your 30s, in your workspace, in your community, even in the comment sections. Legacy is branding done with depth and purpose. So, as we move forward into this lesson, let's start shifting our mindset. That is the power of personal legacy. Let's move on to the next slide. So, what is the difference between branding and legacy? Your personal brand is how people see you. Your legacy is what people will say about you years from now, whether you're in the room or not. Whether you've moved on, you've retired, or it's the long term impact of your personal brand. So, we're going to talk about another case study, which we all know, Mr. Tony Elumelu, right? When you hear the word Tony Elumelu, what comes to your mind? You think about entrepreneurship, you think about empowerment, You think about an African excellence. His brand is clear. He shows up in suits, he speaks with purpose, he supports young people, he constantly shares about business, leaderships, and building wealth across Africa. That is his personal brand in action, and it has been consistent for years. Now let's talk about legacy. Mr. Tony Elumelu is not trying to be seen. He's building something that will outlive him. His foundation, Tony Elumelu Foundation, has empowered over 15,000 African entrepreneurs with funding, training, and support. That's not just branding, that's legacy in motion. His name is tied to transformation. He's creating ripple effect that will continue even if he steps out of the spotlight. So here's the simple difference. Your branding is your current presence. Your legacy is your future remembrance. Branding is what people will say, I like the way she carries herself. Legacy is when people say, she changed my life. So as you build your personal brand, don't just focus now. Think ahead. What will your name stand for in the next 5, 10, 20 years from now? The truth is this, you don't need to be rich or famous to have a legacy. You just have to live and work with purpose every day. Legacy is about the lasting impact you leave behind. How people remember your name, your character, your contribution. Legacy builds trust. It influences others. It grows community reputation. Your name becomes known for reliability and leadership. You can't control how long you live, but you can control how meaningful you live. Every choice you make adds to your lasting story. Simply put, your legacy is the footprint your brand leaves on the world. So make it a strong and a positive one. Let's move to the next slide. How to build a legacy with your brand. Now that we understand why legacy matters, the next question is, how do you build a legacy? Legacy isn't something that just happens by chance. The first one is serve before you sell. Legacy is rooted in service. Before you think about what you can gain, focus on what you can give. Whether that means mentoring a junior colleague, volunteering on community projects, or simply offering support without expecting anything in return. When you put service first, your brand becomes more than transactions or titles. It becomes genuine contribution. Secondly, mentor someone. One of the most tangible ways to build a legacy is through mentorship. Imagine how much impact you can have sharing your knowledge, your experience, and encouragement with someone just starting out. Mentorship creates a ripple effect. Your mentee grows and succeeds and then passes on what they learn to others. Mentoring does not have to be formal. It could be a chat, answering questions, guiding someone through a challenge. Thirdly, give back to your industry or community. Legacy is about the impact that extends beyond yourself. Think about ways your profession can contribute to the community. Think about ways you can do that through volunteering. You can speak at events, you can write articles or blogs, participate in initiatives that improves your field. The fourth one is document your journey. Your story is part of your legacy. Keep track of your progress. Keep track of your challenges. Keep track of your wins. Keep track of the lessons learned. This could be through a journal, a blog, podcast, social media. Sharing your journey openly invites others to learn and be inspired. Documentation also helps you as an individual to reflect on your growth and keep your legacy alive beyond your immediate circle. Let's move to the next slide. Legacy is built and not left. We have the legacy questions. What would you want people to say about you at the end of your career? What key lessons or value do you hope they remember? How can you use your skills to serve others more intentionally? There are no right or wrong answers here. What matters is that you take the time to answer honestly and use those answers as a compass for your personal brand and legacy. No one stumbles into a great legacy. Legacy is intentional. It is built daily through choices. Every small decisions, how you greet a colleague, how you treat a colleague, the quality of your work, how you handle setback matters. Legacy grows from consistent values. Legacy requires purposeful actions. Legacy involves reflections and adaptation. Legacy is resilient and enduring. When it is built intentionally, it withstands challenges and changes. It becomes a part of the culture you influence and the people you impact. Legacy is not a one time event, but a continuous intentional process. Your legacy is built every time you show up. It requires commitment, courage, and clarity. And the good news is, you have the power to start building your legacy today, no matter where you are in your career or in your life. Now, for the recap, remember your brand is your reputation, your story, and your legacy, all wrapped in one powerful force. It shapes your opportunities, your relationship, and how you are remembered. Personal branding is not always easy to grasp or practice, but your commitment to learning and growing is what sets you apart. So, we've come to the end of today's class. I want to open the floor for any questions you might have. No question is too small or too big. So, this is a space for learning and growth. So, the floor is yours, guys.
This is super, super loaded. Like, me personally, I just feel this is the habit of ghosting. You say I'm ghosting because if I'm not ghosting, I cannot move. So I have to like put my side, I have to put my own life aside to face analytical. But on the other hand, I'm still doing myself like a bit of wrong because coming back to the ghosting people or the people I've ghosted because I'm trying to build analytical, how would they feel? So I think I should do more
So
better in
the
the class of
away. I went to the first meeting.
I
Now
got
for
something
my
that
I lost a meeting.
we they do meeting again. So guys, the floor is yours. Ask your questions. Unmute oh. Those raising up their hand, unmute and ask your questions.
My son got thinking it be for me. It
Mr.
was
Cheriki, mute your mic. All right. Mr. Kachi Samuel, you can ask your question. Mr. Samuel, you can ask your question. All right. Okay. Caleb, you can ask your question.
Okay, so it's not a question but a commendation. I want to appreciate you, Miss Precious. Um, your yesterday I enjoyed every bit of it. Funny, I was actually in Bible study yesterday, and I had to listen with my AirPod, and I had to come out to listen very well because it was really interesting. And today you helped me see a different way I could build my brand. It's not just online but offline. I want to say thank you. So not basically a question but a commendation. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I really appreciate. Thank you so much. All right. Do we have anyone that still wants to ask a question?
I think they are the chat box.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Are there any questions there? I'm not seeing it though.
No, I'm not seeing any question.
Okay. Oh,
If you have any question, the floor is yours. Ask your question. Okay. Ty, you can ask your question.
Yes, my question is regarding what you said about how you want to transition from, let's say you're transitioning from one career to another career, and how you like have to meet like a specific target audience. Now, my question is, let's say I'm transitioning from like a culinary career to a tech space. How do I and especially when I'm like a complete novice in like what I'm transitioning to, how do I like align myself to get to where I think I want to be? How do I it made more sense in my head. I'm not lying.
Okay. So your question is you are trying to transition from one career to tech career, is that right?
Yes, yes, that's my question. Yes.
Okay. Okay. That's a great question. And the first thing is clarity. You have to start with vision and not confusion. So before jumping into tech, what exactly do you want to do in tech? Ask yourself. Tech is wide, from designing to coding to data to product to cybersecurity. You need to identify the roles that match with your interest, value, and your strengths. Even if you don't know exactly, you can start narrowing it down. And then audit your existing skills. What transferable skills do you have right now? Is it communication? Is it organization? Is it writing skills? Is it teaching? Is it strategy? And have you used those skills to solve any problems? Have you worked with any digital tools? Tech needs people with skills. So you need to know how to translate those and then pick a learning path. Start by building. Once you're clear on a direction, you should know what to do. For example, if it is UI UX design, if it is data analysis, if it's front end development, choose one or two learning platforms. Start with foundational courses. Build small projects or document your learning publicly via LinkedIn, GitHub. It helps to build credibility and align your brand to your new path. Also, align your personal brand. Ask yourself, does your online presence reflect the career I want to grow into? And if it does, start by updating your LinkedIn headline and your bio to reflect your transition. Start by sharing insights, the lessons you've learned, or questions you're exploring. Connect with people already in that field. You attract what you consistently show. People can't recommend you for tech roles if your profile is still holding your old career. And then network with intention. You have to network with intention, join communities, attend free webinars, volunteer, for small tech projects, ask for informational chats. And then the alignment you're looking for will not come at once. But every single step, learning, building, connecting, makes your brand and your path clearer. So you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be consistent.
Thank you. Thank
You're
you so much.
welcome. All right. So please, you guys that are typing in the chat box, I would really appreciate if you can ask your question. Turn on your mic and ask, please. Okay. Yes, Sheriki Olamide, you can ask your question.
Good evening.
Good evening. Good
My
evening.
question is like a commendation and also a question.
All right.
I really love the class we had today. It was very interesting. Though I joined late,
Okay.
but I still have a lot. Board is too broad. How do you like niche down that this is one particular thing I want? This is how do you niche down
Sorry, can you repeat
that
your question again?
in the tech world
Yeah.
it is broad. Yeah, you can go into a lot of things.
Yes.
How do you niche down like this is what I want to start personal branding on? This is what how do you do that?
Okay, okay. So how do you create your niche if you are going to be in the tech world? All right. In tech, it's so easy to get overwhelmed. Like you said, it's a very broad, world. We have a lot different diversities. The list is
Wọ́n tó gbẹ́nu
endless.
sí
So,
ojú wíńdò tó dẹ̀ mọ́ pé wíńdò wà ní ṣíṣí.
can you mute your mic,
Nígbà tó bá
please?
ṣẹlẹ̀ kó tó mọ̀ nǹkan tí mò ń sọ, kò sí wàhálà.
Okay,
All right.
Wọ́n
So,
fààyè mi lọ.
you start by asking yourself two questions. Tech is broad, right? What part of tech do you actually like? What problems do you feel naturally pulled towards solving? That's the beginning of your niche. You have to build clarity. Your personal brand is everywhere. If your personal brand is everywhere, you end up nowhere. So if you start learning anything in particular in tech, pick one core thing to be known for. You can still grow and pivot over time. But when people think of you, they should be able to say, oh, that lady is really into front end development. Oh, that lady always shares great tip on UX products. You have to know your strengths from your weakness. So, what are you really good at? What do you enjoy doing in the tech world? What do you think you can easily cope with? So, once you've been able to answer those questions genuinely, you have gotten your niche. So, have I answered your question?
yes,
All
yes.
right.
Thank you very
Okay,
much.
Ruth, you can ask your question. Okay, so reading from the chat, someone said, I'm trying to transition from teaching to data science and analytics. I've been thinking, is there anything in my new tech career that has to do with my previous career? Or I have to everything away from my previous career? Marino Marvelous. I don't know if she's here. I would love for you to ask your question in a way that we'll all understand. Hello, is she there?
Is it Tia?
No, no, no. Marino Marvelous.
Is your name Marvelous? No, my name is not Marvelous. I don't think she's here.
Okay. All right. Someone asks on the chat, what do you do if you're trying to build someone's business along with yours? All right. So if you're trying to build someone's business along with you, that is a tricky question, and it depends on your boundaries. If you're building someone's business while you're building yours, the key is to be honest with yourself about what you want long term. So ask yourself, are you supporting them temporarily, or you are learning from experience? Or are you pouring so much into theirs that yours is now suffering? Because here's the thing, it's okay to help someone else grow as long as you are not losing yourself and your voice in the process. If you're doing both, you need to be clear on your own vision. Set boundaries around your time and energy, and make sure your personal brand does not get swallowed up in theirs. It's not selfish to protect your dream. You can start someone else's vision, but don't abandon your own. So balance it with wisdom. Support them, but show up for yourself too. Because at the end of the day, if you don't build your team, who will? Any more question? All right, Fina, you can ask your question.
Okay, good evening, everyone.
Good
It's not
evening.
a question. Just want to to you. You. This session was more than a training. It was a wake-up call to live purposefully, and I really appreciate it. I also want to tell you this. You have a really nice voice, and you have a great command of English. Thank
Thank
you very
you.
much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Shariki, you're raising your hand. Okay, Otobong, you can ask your question.
All right, Miss Precious, not a question, but to say a very big thank you because for me, I used to have a food business that later collapsed, and I started with branding from scratch. And being in this section is like a new life. I was telling Big A that as I'm listening to you speak, like there was something added to me. I just felt renewed inside, like this is what I needed. This is everything I needed to just stay put. Sometimes it becomes overwhelming, but this section is mind blowing. So I want to say a very big thank you,
Oh, thank
and
you.
I would love to hear more of your teachings. Like you're good. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I'm so proud of your growth also. Thank you so much. All right, Abubakar, you can ask your question.
Actually, it is not a question, it's just a way to appreciate you
Thank
and
you.
also to commend you as well. And if I may ask, I hope today's session will not be the last session we'll be holding with us because personally, maybe you can drop any of your contacts so that if need be, we can get in touch with you. Thank you.
Thank you. Today is going to be the last, unfortunately, but we'll see each other again. Um,
But an opportunity we are in need during the program. She's a assistant tutor in our 3 month program. So virtual assistant people, you people are lucky to have pressure. So
and concerning my contact, that's less for the admin to decide. So if the admin wants that, then you have to go to the admin first before I can share my contact. Thank you. Thank you so much. Caleb, yes, you're raising your hand.
okay, so I wanted asking if you could share your social media handle so that we could also follow you on your social media handle so that in case we want to also know how we could build our brand. I'm also happy I'm in virtual assistant class because I have to hear more of your voice and hear more of your knowledge.
Thank you. On LinkedIn, my name still remains Precious Olatunbosun. So that's the only social media platform I can give you for now. But thank you. Do we have any more question? Any more question from anybody? Okay, since we have okay, Abubakar, yes, you can ask.
Nikita.
No, I've asked my question already. You've
Okay,
already
okay.
dropped a LinkedIn, your LinkedIn link. So thank you.
Okay, all right, thank you. So I'm guessing we don't have any more questions. Okay, I'd like to ask from the chat. Someone asked, how do we write our bio? How do we write our bio? Example from marketing to data analytics.
Sorry,
Any?
can I come in into that question
All right,
Ab-
yes.
about the optimization and the bio thing? So lucky for us, our next facilitator, which is Ms. Yuguda, she's taking us on LinkedIn optimization. That's not a well, but deciding to do that for us. So she's taking us on LinkedIn optimization and crafting of CVs and I think I can't really remember, but for this question, the next session you're going to know how to create a perfect bio, optimize your social media pages and all like that. So just make sure you don't miss any of the classes.
All right, thank you. Zainab, you can ask your question.
Okay. Thank you so much for
You're welcome.
this insightful section. I really appreciate your efforts in tutoring us.
Thank
So
you.
my question is, last class, someone talked about if they are not a writer or they don't get used to writing and every other things like that. And I think someone else asked that you can use ChatGPT. So there's a case where I use ChatGPT, then some of the things that were given to me by ChatGPT, then I paste it on LinkedIn, and it was like this thing is not verified. You can't post it online. So how do you go about it? That's my question. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm trying to get a question. You pasted something from ChatGPT on LinkedIn, and it was telling you that it's not verified.
Yeah.
Um, there's nothing wrong with using ChatGPT or any AI tool to help you write. In fact, a lot of professionals do it, but you have to make it yours. You don't just copy and paste raw AI inputs into LinkedIn and expect it to connect. Because when it says it's not verified or it doesn't feel real, it's like they're trying to tell you that it does not sound like you. It's generic. It lacks your voice, your story, your experience. So if ChatGPT helps you write, it's great. But then try and edit it in your own words. Add your own perspective. Share why it matters to you. People want to hear your voice and not a robot's. So even if AI helps you start, you have to finish it like a human. That's what makes your brand authentic. And that's how people trust what you say. So yes, use tools, but don't lose your voice in the process. So have I answered your question?
Yes. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I don't know if Sheriki and Abubakar want to ask questions because
Actually, it is not a question. Sorry to disturb you. I've searched for your name on LinkedIn. So I have so many precious Olatunbosun on LinkedIn. So which of those Olatunbosun is yours? Elocutionist or so just give me a brief
all right.
description of your bio.
Okay. The company's name is Analytical Haven, right? Search for it. I was tagged to their recent post. You see my name there. All right, Sheriki. Okay, Victoria, you can ask your question.
All right, thank you for
You're
this
welcome.
section. You've doing a great job.
Thank you.
My question is this: um, about ChatGPT also.
Okay.
You, what about what can you say about when you're able to write it down what you wanted to post? you wrote them down by yourself and you just copied it and paste on ChatGPT, and it helps you put it correctly, and you posted it that way. Is it okay, Abi? Do you still need to touch it? Remember, you're the one that have wrote them down. You already typed what you wanted to post. You just posted it on ChatGPT to help you fix some things. So what will you say about that? Is it okay like that?
Um, Let me say this because I know some of us use ChatGPT to clean up or polish our posts before sharing. I think that's what you're trying to say. Okay, there's
Yeah.
absolutely nothing wrong with that. Sometimes you know what you want to say, but the words are not coming out the way you want. So if you write your thoughts and paste it into ChatGPT, it also helps you rephrase, correct the grammar, and tighten it up. That's not cheating because the idea is still yours. The experience is yours. The voice behind it is still you. The ChatGPT is just helping you say it in a better way, like an assistant. So what you should avoid is copying a full AI generated post without adding your personal touch, your voice, or your story. But if you already wrote it and AI helped you polish it, you are still the author. That's perfectly fine. So I don't know if I've answered your question. All right. Debbie, you can ask your question.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, thank you for the class. I'm sorry, I've not been able to join fully because I'm mostly at work
Okay.
when the class is beginning. So,
Okay.
and my network wasn't really good today because I'm at home today. So my network, it wasn't going well, and I had to like pause the call, then try and join again. So I don't know if it's possible for us to like get the lecture notes or PDF or something that we can like go back to.
Yes, the admin will handle that, so you don't need to worry.
Okay, okay, because the first class I wasn't in attendance, so I didn't even know what they spoke about or how the class went or the topic or anything. So that's what I was asking.
Okay, all right, no problem. The admin will handle that. Thank you.
All right, thank you very
All right,
much.
you're welcome. So, do we have any question? Abubakar, your hand is still up. I don't know if you want to ask a question. Yeah, your hand is up, people. You can ask your question if you have one. All right. So, do we still have more questions?
Okay. So, láàárọ̀ náà ló tẹ́lẹ̀. Yeah,
Ask your question, guys. If you have any question, please ask.
I think there is no more question. I think so.
Okay.
So another session for tomorrow, Saturday. Yes. I think we are good for today.
Okay. All right. Thank you all for your time, your attention, your active participation throughout this session. Personal branding is not easy to grasp, but your commitment. Okay. I don't know if Obina, you can. Do you have a question?
Yes, I have a question. Good evening.
Good evening.
I just want to ask, just a quick one. I couldn't follow up with the writing because I was working home. I couldn't do all of that at once while working home. So I want to know, is there a way you can or you will send all you've taught, maybe in PDF form, for us to just go over them again, even yesterday's own, because I wasn't present yesterday.
Excuse you, Mr. Chuku. There is no pre-recording for this class, as it is said the last time. If we start
You
that,
said? Sorry, I didn't get you. Sorry.
there's no recording for this class. Because if we start that way, we would have less than 20 people on this call. So everybody needs to be on stand, because this is just the beginning. If you start skipping classes, if you start having excuses like, oh yeah, there's going to be pre-recording classes, so everybody's going to feel relaxed. So we are not starting that way. I'm sorry.
Okay, fine, no problem.
Debbie, you can ask your question.
Okay, it's just based on what she said. Like I said, I'm going to work. So you don't expect me to pick up my phone and be listening, because where I work is the airport. The place is always noisy. So that's why I was asking for, like, even if it's not before the class, maybe after the class, like a preview or like a short note or something, like, oh, this is recap of what we thought, because I
Definitely,
don't know.
joined earlier. They did a recap. Yes, she did a recap, and some of the students did a recap of what they learned last time.
And that's what I'm saying. I don't leave work till like 6. And probably by 6, 7, 8, that's when I'll get home. So I don't know how you want me to join the class before then and get the recap. That's why I was asking for the PDF. At least with the PDF, I can take my time and go through the class. But you're seeing it as, oh, people will be lazy and all that. But what about we, that we have other things that we are doing as well? I have two works that I'm doing at the same time. I'm doing a customer related online job, and I'm also working at the airport. So I don't know how you want to go about it to make it comfortable for me, because I don't see why I'll pay for a class but I don't have the means to go back to the class because I was not online during the class. I don't know if you get what I'm saying.
Sorry, let me correct you on that part. Saying
All
you
right.
as this is a soft skills program. This is a plus to your program. That
Okay.
just made you paid for a class. No, it's not done yet. This
Okay.
program
So
plus to the 3 months program. 3 months program is actually free. So please